All right, I'm glad you could join us today. I'm Mr. Woodard, and this is our College and Career Service Workshop. Today we're going to talk about resume writing and cover letters. Many employers require a resume before an interview, and often the first impression an employer will have of someone is their resume. A good resume is accurate, communicates clearly, and gets an employer's attention. Let's watch a short video about resumes, and then we'll talk about it.
Resume. That's coming up. Hey guys, I'm Kim with Snagajob, your #1 source for hourly jobs, and welcome to our weekly job search advice show. So I know I don't have to tell you this, but resumes are so important when it comes to searching for jobs. I mean, essentially, this is one of the first impressions you'll give employers as to why you'd make the best fit for that position. But where should you even start? Here are some of the most common questions we get asked about formatting resumes.
How long should my resume be?
Keep your resume between 1 to 2 pages. You can probably fit everything in that space, and you don't want to overwhelm the employer by making it too long.
Should I have an objective statement?
They are really not necessary. Objective statements are kind of lame, outdated, and kind of predictable. I mean, the objective is to get a job, right? So think about, instead of having an objective statement, make a skills summary on the top of your resume to show the employer all of your strengths.
What about my references?
You shouldn't include your references on your actual resume, but you should definitely bring them with you and give them to an employer. So create a separate document with your references listed.
Is my email address really that important?
I cannot tell you just how important your email address is. We get some pretty sketchy email addresses that we see from job seekers, and that can really scare an employer. I suggest creating a separate email account just for your job search, just simply your first name and your last name. This way you'll have all your job search emails in one place.
What's the absolute biggest resume mistake?
Employers tell us that typos on their resumes is one of the biggest mistakes that job seekers can make. It sends an automatic red flag to the employer that makes it look like you could be a little careless on the job if you're that careless on your resume. I suggest having a friend or family member read over your resume to see if you missed anything. I do this all the time, and I can't tell you how many little things I've missed. Thanks for joining us today. If you like this video, please let us know so we know to keep making videos like this. And if you have any questions about
All right, we'll let them get us started. Let's think a little bit about that video and about resumes. Should a resume be 1 page, 2 pages, longer? What about an objective? What about a skills summary? What about references? Is an email address important? What is the biggest resume mistake? Some things we need to think about, but everybody wants to ask, so now, how do we actually begin writing a resume? Well, actually, it's pretty easy. We're going to talk about using AI to help you write your resume. Let's watch a video about that.
Spending countless hours perfecting your resume only to receive little or no response from potential employers? Resume writing doesn't have to be such a draining, frustrating, and time-consuming experience. In this video, you'll discover how to use AI and ChatGPT to simplify the entire resume writing process. Say goodbye to the stress and uncertainty and hello to confidence that you need to land your dream job. I'll share the exact prompts you can give this advanced AI chatbot to create a custom-made resume that showcases your unique strengths and accomplishments. And if you want to take your resume writing skills to the next level, consider joining me in Resume Mastery Pro. This comprehensive course will teach you the key elements of a winning resume that will impress employers and empower you to negotiate the salary you deserve. Use the link in the description below to get started. Hey, I'm Heather, a career strategy expert, and over the years, I've helped thousands of job seekers land job interviews and job offers at top companies like Google, Amazon, Disney, Meta, and Viacom CBS. If you want to experience the same success as them, you're not going to want to miss a thing on this channel. So before we get started, tap the like button and click subscribe below if you haven't already done so. Thanks to AI and ChatGPT, you can now streamline the entire resume writing process and build an incredible resume that stands out from the crowd. Using natural language processing and deep learning algorithms, ChatGPT will create a personalized and professional resume that showcases your skills and achievements. And don't worry, these technologies may sound complicated, but they're not. In this action-packed training, you'll learn how to take advantage of ChatGPT's advanced features and create a resume that will help you land your dream job. So grab a notebook, sit back, and get ready to take your resume writing to the next level. Let's jump into it.
How to properly use artificial intelligence to help you streamline the entire resume writing process. So do you guys want your resume to take you 10 hours? Or do you want your resume to take you, let's say, 30 minutes, okay? I'm going to share with you guys a 3-part system to follow when it comes to using artificial intelligence, and then I'm going to show you how to actually use it, okay? So pay attention here. The very first thing you're going to do is pinpoint relevant skills, and AI will help you do that, okay? So this is where we're going to identify important skills and experiences required for the position, okay? Next thing, and this is so simple, you guys, highlight qualifications. This is where we're going to now take your experience and we're going to highlight the qualifications to bring to light or to catch the attention of hiring managers and recruiters. And by the way, AI will help you with this. It will tell you exactly what to do. And then the third part to this is creating results-driven achievement statements. So we're going to go to AI and we're going to ask it for help to help us polish and clean it all up. I'm going to show you guys exactly what you need to do to actually use this resource. Now, keep in mind, when you go here, there is so much traffic on this site that you probably aren't going to be able to get in right now. You basically have to go log in and you have to wait for it to be ready for you. And then it will let you in and you can start asking it questions. Okay. Think of it as like Google on steroids and with a personality. Okay. That's kind of how I look at this. So let me show you guys what you're going to do. So you're going to create your account. You're going to go to ChatGPT. And by the way, this is like one of the most sophisticated forms of artificial intelligence in the form of a chatbot. There are plenty of other resources out there. This is just the one that's getting the most attention. It's the one that I'm using on a daily. In fact, I said to my husband, I'm like, ChatGPT is my new boyfriend because it really is like that's how it makes you feel. Let's go through each of these steps. So the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to pinpoint relevant skills that are listed in the position. Okay. So all you're going to do, you're going to go to ChatGPT. You have a little box at the bottom where you're going to enter your question. Super easy, okay? This is the most important step. If you guys want real answers and really good results, you've got to ask it really good questions, okay? So I'm going to just give you some ideas on questions that you can ask it, okay? So what I'm going to say is, hey, what are the most important skills for this position? And then I'm going to paste the job description. So you've got to give it as much information as possible. You could even ask questions like, which skills are mentioned most frequently in the job listing? You could even ask, how can I tailor my resume to the specific skills required for this job? But for this, we're keeping this simple because I don't want to overwhelm you guys. What are the most important skills for this position? And then we paste the job description. What ends up happening is it gives you the most relevant skills based on its analysis. So in this case, I actually popped in a position for VP physical sales and marketing at Warner Music Group. Okay. So it's going in and it's saying, oh, well, this person or whoever, this job is asking for strong leadership, strong analytical, strategic thinking, strong knowledge of the music industry, yada, yada, yada. Well, now I'm going to take these things and I'm going to say, oh, crap, I better have these in my resume, or I better have really good interview answers to this when I go in and I go to my interview. Well, the next thing I want you to think about, so we're going to probe even more. So this is the second step to our process here, is we now want to highlight your qualifications. So here's the question that I can ask ChatGPT now. Hey, how can I showcase my achievements and qualifications in the best light? And then I paste my resume. Now you have to give it as much information as possible in order for it to give you really good results. Okay. So far it has the job description, and now so far we're giving it our resume. Okay. So I just took one of my clients' resumes and I popped it in there, and now it's saying, hey, if you want to showcase your best light for this position, you need to use specific and quantifiable metrics, okay, which we talked about. You need to highlight your leadership experience. You need to emphasize results that you've achieved, such as yada, yada, yada. And the list goes on and on and on. Okay. Now, here's the thing I want you guys to remember, and I'm going to mention this in just a second, is some of this information is super general. So if you can keep probing and asking the right questions, it will give you what you need to help you enhance your resume. Okay. Now, let me take you to the next step, and that is to create your results-driven achievement statements. Okay. So it has my resume, it has the job posting. I'm all in the same chat, and I'm going to say, hey, write 3 to 4 results-driven achievement statements using my resume and the job description. And then it has all of that. And then notice what happens. It basically just popped 4 achievement statements out to me that I could now take and put onto my resume. Here's the thing, you guys, if this does not blow your mind, I don't know what will, but this is like revolutionizing everything. Okay. So this is going to change the way you write your resume. It's going to change the way I help my clients. This is a game changer. So I would love to see all of you guys at least take a few minutes today, create an account if you don't already have one, go in and play around with it a little bit. Okay. And start like trying to flesh out some of these ideas that we've talked about today. Now, here's the other thing I want to mention. It doesn't give you nice, beautiful templates like what I give you, okay, or in my programs and in my courses. So what I want to encourage you to do is use ChatGPT to get the information that you need. I want you to come back over and grab my resume templates. And by the way, inside of our Resume Mastery course, which I'm going to tell you guys about in just a second, we have templates for all of this, every single situation that you could possibly think of, career changers, gaps.
Just a note, there are plenty of templates on Word that you can access for free, and there's plenty of free templates on the internet. But ChatGPT and other AI will, if you do download a template on there, they will fill in a template for you.
New students, experienced professionals, and you're going to take that information now and you're going to make it and pop it into an ATS friendly, human readable resume that starts getting noticed and starts catching attention. Okay. Just like the stories that I've shared with you guys so far today. Now, I do want to give you some dangers of using AI or ChatGPT. There are some risks and there are some downsides. Okay, so just really quickly, keep this in mind as you're going through this. Now, I know this tool is going to evolve over time and it's going to be amazing, but there is a cutoff date for the knowledge base. So I believe they've said it was like 2021. Who knows? That could change tomorrow. Okay, that's how fast AI changes and moves, but there is a cutoff date for the knowledge base. So some of the newer resume writing trends or some of the things like that we teach you, it might not have that information yet. Okay. The other thing is it isn't always correct. Like, for example, I was asking it, just probing some questions, and it said to place personal hobbies on a resume. You never want to place personal hobbies on a resume. And then the other thing is I was asking it something last night. It had a spelling error. And then I said, wait, you spelled that word wrong. And it was like, no, I didn't spell that word wrong. And then I typed the word in and it said, oh yeah, sorry, I did spell that word wrong. So just take it with a grain of salt. It's sort of spooky when you first use it because you're like, wow, like what is this? but the more you understand it and give it questions for your situation, the better it can help you. The other thing I want you to remember is the information can be generic. So all the prompts and all the things that it's giving me to put on resumes sometimes, and to like if I ask it to rewrite something, sometimes it's generic. So you gotta be careful with that as well. And then the last thing is it cannot form or share experiences. So that's where that personal interaction or those personal stories, there is no substitute for that, okay? So keep that in mind, you guys, as you go through and start learning about ChatGPT, or try out another AI software.
It's no doubt that ChatGPT not only saves you time, but also helps you create a standout resume that sets you apart from the competition. Now, if you're ready to take your resume writing skills to the next level, check out our comprehensive course.
All right, that doesn't look too bad. It's pretty easy, isn't it? You know, a good resume is essential when applying to many jobs. Also, it's important to include a cover letter. Let's watch a short video about cover letters, and then we'll talk about it.
To landing a first round interview, your resume might be more important than a cover letter in all ways but one. A good cover letter evokes emotion in the reader, something even the best resume cannot do. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 key things my friend Amanda did in her cover letter that ultimately landed her multiple offers in management consulting firms and bulge bracket investment banks. And make sure to stay to the very end for a cover letter formatting power tip that I promise you've never heard of before. Let's get started. Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. Before you even begin to write the cover letter for a full-time job or internship application, you might be wondering, is it even necessary? And the answer is always going to be the same. A good one won't guarantee you the job, but a bad one will ensure you don't even get the first round interview. So let's break down the 3 things this cover letter got right. Number 1, and this is the most important tip, hook the reader in by mentioning a connection with the company. If you do this right, it'll keep them reading past the first paragraph and onto why you should have this position over the other applicants. Let's take a look at what Amanda did in her example. Everyone tells me the entry-level consultant position in any of the big 4 firms is going to be the same. However, after attending 5 career fairs and speaking with over 20 professionals, it has become clear to me EY stands out from the rest. Let's pause right here. In this one sentence, Amanda does 3 things. She first hooks the reader in by mentioning a common perception about the consulting industry, that all entry-level positions are the same, then immediately contradicting that very statement. Then she shows she's very proactive since she's been attending career fairs. And finally, she makes it clear that something about Ernst & Young, something about EY stands out to her. Aren't you just a tiny bit curious as to what that is? In order for you to replicate what Amanda has done here with her cover letter hook, there's no way around doing some actual research. Number 1, speak with a minimum of 3 industry professionals and ask some targeted questions designed to provide you with specific insight into that role and industry. I've made an entire video on the best informational interview questions to ask during coffee chats. I'll link that up here and down below. But in a nutshell, you want to stay away from asking generic questions like, tell me about your day-to-day, and instead reword that to something like, what do you find most rewarding about your current role? By making small tweaks like this, you prompt the professional to tell you concrete examples that you can use in your cover letter, which in turn shows the recruiter, without a shadow of a doubt, you've clearly done your homework. Number 2, if you're applying for roles where a software product is involved, such as Google Ads, Facebook Ads, Office 365, Amazon AWS, Salesforce CRM, you want to go to websites such as G2 and Capterra to get a first-hand look at customer testimonials and reviews, since this will help you get a basic understanding of the product in a very short amount of time. Final tip is to remember the connection you mentioned has to be relatable with the reader, who is oftentimes the recruiter or hiring manager. If you're applying for a position at Apple, probably don't say how you're going to come up with the next big iPhone idea, and instead perhaps bring up their emphasis on privacy and how that's impacting the advertising industry. And for all the fresh grads out there, the less qualified you are for the position, the more important this first paragraph. You need to convince the hiring manager that your motivation, energy, willingness to learn will make you a stronger addition to the team than someone who might have a bit more experience but fail to be interesting in their cover letter. Okay, I spent a lot of time on this first tip because if you don't get this right, none of other stuff matters because they're not going to keep reading. Let me know down in the comment section below what roles you're applying for, and maybe I can reply with some hook ideas. Cover letter tip number 2, be purposeful about the information you include. Put another way, each paragraph in your cover letter, or rather each sentence, should have a reason for being there. In Amanda's cover letter, there are no wasted words. The first paragraph hooks the reader in, and the second paragraph expands on that hook. Too often, candidates start off their cover letters by saying, "Hi, my name is John, I currently work here, and I'm applying for this position." Amanda skipped all that because she realized her resume and online application already told the recruiter all that information. And the focus of the cover letter should be on why she in particular should be considered for a first round interview. In her third and fourth paragraphs, Amanda highlights relevant achievements that tie into the responsibilities of the role she's applying for. She spent 2 summers interning in management consulting firms and worked on a $2 million project. She developed problem solving and project management skills, and she received recognition for always being on top of deadlines. She could have brought up leadership skills, how amazing she is at PowerPoint, or her strong background in data analytics. But she knows to focus on the most important factors the recruiter for this role is looking for: deal size, project management skills, and reliability. The last paragraph can be a bit more generic, since usually you end the cover letter by thanking the reader for his or her time and reinforcing your strong desire to join their company. Amanda adds a little bit of personality here by mentioning again she has relevant work experience, differentiating her from the other applicants and emphasizing her project management abilities, a core skill of any capable consultant. Also, pro tip, I just love how she uses the word asset here. Not too cocky, not too modest, just right. Cover letter tip number 3, use a simple template and pay attention to white space. Just take a look at these 2 cover letters. Putting the formatting aside, which one do you instinctively prefer to read? Probably this one, especially if this person was able to include all the important information in a concise and structured way. I especially like how the name and address section is in a separate column, meaning you don't have too much awkward white space. And if you saw my resume video, you know that I really like having colored accents to give your cover letter a bit more personality while retaining that overall professional look and feel. And many of you might not know this, but including a relevant job title right below your name is beneficial since your cover letter is usually scanned by robots when you upload it, and they look for these keywords. Finally, and here's my biggest power tip when it comes to cover letter formatting, you might notice the first letter up top in the header here are 2 sizes larger than the rest. This is by design. So let's bring this back up to the same size. It's 26. Highlight the letters after the first one, press Command-Shift, comma twice to make it 2 sizes smaller. And now you're left with a rather unique yet professional looking header for your cover letter. To reward those of you who have stuck around until now, here's a link to download this exact template so you can reference it when you're writing your own amazing cover letter. So circling back to the emotion aspect I mentioned at the beginning of the video. After reading this cover letter, the recruiter might come to the conclusion that Amanda is witty, she has a relevant skill set, and she's driven. All of which means that at least a first round interview is warranted. As a next step, make sure to check out my video on how to write an incredible resume.
Okay, what did you think about that video? Which point stood out to you? What about the formatting? That was very interesting. Some really good ideas to think about while you're trying to put information and content in your cover letter. But now we want to actually create the cover letter. So now let's look at using ChatGPT or any other AI to help you with your cover letter.
Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Erin McGough and I'm a filmmaker and career educator. And today we are talking about how to use ChatGPT to write a cover letter in a matter of seconds. So if you don't know, a cover letter is a document that's in conjunction with your resume when you apply to a job. And all it does is showcase why you're a good fit. So I always say resumes are kind of about like your hard skills, and a cover letter is more about your soft skills, your personality, your career journey. Some jobs require cover letters and read them. Some jobs require cover letters and don't read them. And some jobs don't require cover letters and they like them, but they may or may not read them. If you want a job, you should write a cover letter. They show your interests. They show that you took that extra step to make yourself stand out. They're an incredible tool in addition to your application. The problem is that, just finding the job and submitting your resume and tailoring your resume and submitting it, like that is already so time consuming that writing a whole freaking novel on top of that, like that is just so annoying. So I designed 2 cover letter templates actually that thousands of people have used to get jobs. And I'll link to those down in the description. But I'm also here to save you guys time, money, and stress. My whole thing is democratizing access to career advice. I am trying to get you guys the jobs you love quicker and faster. And ChatGPT is a fantastic tool for that. So I'm going to show you guys how to use ChatGPT to write kind of like a baseline cover letter that you can use for tons of different jobs. And so we're going to do something that originally would take you, an hour to do and trim it down to just a few minutes. This is the definition of working smarter, not harder. So for this, you need to have your resume up, ChatGPT pulled up, and then the job description. So what I'm going to say is, hi, ChatGPT, always be nice to the robots. Can you help me write a cover letter? I'm currently a video editor, and I'm applying for the video editor position at BuzzFeed. Here is the job description. Go over to the BuzzFeed job description and copy and paste it. And then say, and here are my resume details. And go over to my resume and copy and paste that. And then thanks. So if I were you, I would just copy and paste this right into a Google Doc. And here are some edits that I would make. So instead of dear hiring manager, I would say dear BuzzFeed hiring team. Instead here, I would say my name is Erin McGough, and I am enthusiastically submitting my application for the video editor position at BuzzFeed as collaborative, versatile, great video editor with over 8 years of experience. I would say 8+. Pretty solid. My current role at video editor. So I'm just kind of doing some tweaks to kind of make it sound more like my personality instead of a robot. My current role as a senior video editor at Studio Agency. I've honed in my skills in non-linear video editing softwares. I think the second paragraph is pretty strong, and then it talks about my other experience at Production Co. I collaborated with the creative director and senior. Yep, this is fine. To provide additional animation support, junior video editor, post house, organized short. Yep, I think that's all fine. Lots of keywords. And skills align with the responsibilities listed in the job description, including end-to-end editing in multiple video formats, experimenting with different versions of an edit. And also, this is Grammarly, by the way, if you don't have Grammarly. It's amazing. I'll put a link down in the description. That's it. That's it. Oh, and remember to name it. I always put I like to insert my name wherever I can. So I'll put my last name, then cover letter, and then the company name, BuzzFeed. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. Again, what a time to be alive. So go enjoy ChatGPT and always submit those cover letters because now you have no excuse. If you found this video,
All right, that seemed pretty easy also, didn't it? What did you think about the video? And did you see how she used ChatGPT to create a really good cover letter? But if we go back to the video before, they told us about the formatting and how to really make it stand out and to personalize it. So you can use AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, any of the others to help you create something and get you pretty close to the finish line. But you really need to put that personal touch in, especially formatting, especially putting personal interaction in there to get somebody's attention, to hook them with that cover letter. On your resume also, ChatGPT or Gemini or another artificial intelligence can help you get 90% of it done, but you really need to put your own personal touch to it to show that there's a human element to it to really, really help somebody understand that you're the best candidate for the job. Okay, there's going to be a very short survey that'll be attached with what I've sent out with this, so please click on that link and do that survey. And then I hope everybody enjoyed learning about resumes and cover letters. If you have any further questions, ask your instructor. Email me. It's zwoodard@oftc.edu. That's zwoodard@oftc.edu. You can visit our office, or you can call us at 478-274-7848. That's 478-274-7848. Go to the OFTC website and go to adult education. Any way you want to contact us, that's great. We're here to help. I'm the Career Services Coordinator. I'm here to help you with transitioning to a good job, a better job. I'm here to help you transition to college. So please contact us if you need us. Thanks again for joining us today, and we'll see you all next time. Goodbye.